Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Video number 300. Of course, it's going to be a Legendary Roosevelt. Here I am in Vile Jammer. Sped it up. It was a pretty fast run. 34 minutes, which is great. A lot of that has to do with Golden Bullet. As I told you, I always come to this side, throw a turret, and then I start pulsing from here. If you notice, if you ever get flanked, that's because when you're starting this, you don't have someone over here protecting the flank. Since I've done this, I've two-manned this from this spot and everything. This is the right place to be. At least someone in your group. And with the Golden Bullet thing, it's ridiculous how fast things go sometimes. So I use a turret on this first part. I'm going to be changing up the skills. I'm always using the base Vile Jammer. The Vile Jammer is really a build that's based off the Vile Mask. You get 10 seconds of damage as soon as you put a status effect on someone. So a lot of times you're using the Scorpio. I picked the Vile or the Jammer build because it puts a status effect. It's an AoE. Any of the jammers work. The Banshee works. Firefly works. Any of the chem launchers. Well, not any of them, but anything that's based on a status effect. Here I'm going to switch to Firefly and head up. Pretty good group. It's a very aggressive group. And a couple of folks are lower level and they just shine. The healer was fantastic. Just want to tell you, if you're lower level, you can make a big contribution in division if you're healing. And our healer did a great job. I'm going to eventually go up to that teammate of mine right up there. Want to get the pulse off. And I think I make a... yeah, okay. So I'm a dummy because I thought I healed him, but I couldn't see him all the way. So I left him down. So I apologized to him in game after this. I felt really bad. I didn't notice it till the end. So that's on me. And I was like, oh, crap. Then I think you're going to see I try to type like, yep, here I go. I'm sorry. Because I'm stupid. And you see, we got people going up front all the time and they're getting sniped. We got, again, a lot of damage. We kind of get pushed here a little bit. I don't know if this is true or not, but sometimes when I'm not shooting my gun, I don't aggro the enemy as much before I get into the Vile Jammer. You've seen on some of the videos, I start Vile jamming right away. And that gets the aggro on me. But in that case, I could heal someone. This gets a little dicey because they're all over the place. They're pushing up there. And you can see I will eventually try to lock down this dog, but the snipers are gone already, so it's fantastic. I want to thank everyone that's helped the channel grow. It's really humbling. That's number 300. Is going to be a division. I know I'm showing you a lot of different videos. I'll probably start showing my face, God forbid, in the videos. What I do is I like to talk to you more about things. I don't always want it to be philosophical. Sometimes it ends up that way. I get some of my ideas. I'm just listening. I'm like you. I have a news feed, and some of the things that I see or the shorts I see are preposterous. I'm interested in physics a lot, and so that's a lot of the things that I'll do, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't make any sense, or I'm amazed by it. Gameplay-wise, on the Division 2, I'm really confident in how the game plays. I'm interested if they have like the new Ghost or the new Division variants. I picked up Diablo 4. I'm making some videos like that. This is when the helos come in. So there's a chunga that's going on the back end. Just normal people on the front. If you want to target anyone that's coming down out of these helos, you want to target the sergeants because they put down the heals. The chungas are going to be there. You're not going to kill the chunga fast, but you can go ahead and kill the people putting out the healing pots. Hopefully I do that here. Here comes the second chunga. That's that. See, I light them both up, and then so there's going to be no healing there. And then I'm watching in the long view if there's going to be a sergeant that sneaks up. Pulsing again. And we had a person go down way up front, so we're 3-manning this. But with the golden bullet, it's really easy. I want to thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, getting notifications. If you're feeling and you have an extra second, if you can unsubscribe and resubscribe. Some people have found that not all the videos are showing up. I don't know why that is. I don't know why anyone would screw with the channel. It's so small still. Also, been doing some Ghost Recon and some Destiny. Destiny 2 is starting to heat up. We're starting to do harder and harder content, and it's going pretty well. And my build's finally, I play with Ultimate Shield and Sloth Moods, and my build's finally getting okay where, you know, I can at least carry their suitcases or whatever. What I've decided now in this section of Roosevelt, I go up in this corner. I'd even go up on that, but we're killing them so fast. I'd even go up on that stand next to me so I can reach him further. Again, we have a guy go down, but it's not a big deal. Why do I like Firefly? Because you can basically, and there's Macy, and there's Roxy, and they're fighting over bones. And then Caesar sticks his head in like, what's going on? Sorry about that, everyone. Some of you like hearing the dogs. So basically with the Vile Jammer build, which is basically, sorry, I'm going to say basically one more time, electronic build where it's a high recharge time and some status effect. There's a variability between recharge time, Roxy, status effect, and skill power. In this build, you don't really care about skill power. You care mainly about recharge. You want your recharge down between like 13 and 12. Vile takes 10 seconds, so going faster than 10 seconds doesn't really help you. Vile works by there being no status effect on someone, and then you apply a fresh status effect, then it ticks off Vile. What that means is if you're in a group with other people doing status effects, you might as well switch. All right, so it gets interesting here. And this part, I've run all the way forward, but that's something. Roxy's going to get squirted, and now she's squirted. That's something that you have to plan on doing. Roxy, stop. So we stay back. We're split. Not always the best thing in a legendary. And I'm going to stay back. A lot of times in these legendaries, I'm just doing the legendary to get the exotic. You need 20 exotics at some point just to get something at high levels to raise your expertise on like the highest levels. It's ridiculous. It goes from like 10 to 20, I think, once you hit 20 or something. So if you want to spec out a thing of armor, you know, you're going to need 120 plus another 20 for a weapon. Maybe 160 total for 2 weapons. Roxy. So we're getting pushed hard now, the Chunga. Now here's what I want to tell you. My buddy here, Gemini, if that's his name, Garage Band, Goodyear, he gets up on that turret, and that's great. That's a smart thing to do. We should have probably did it earlier. And we're getting pushed. I hate this directive on the armor. And I'm going to tell you why. Either I can't figure it out, but I blow through all my healing kits trying to get it to go back up to no cracks. And this Chunga never goes down. And surprise, surprise, here comes another Chunga that I didn't realize. And that's Mrs. Ronankazi texting me. So we get pushed. I go back even further. And you see the one's almost down. My buddy comes back and we knock him out. This is the next section. I like to throw shock traps on the left to stop us getting flanked. I don't know if you notice a theme on capital in here. You really want to shape the battlefield, and what that means is you want to funnel them into your kill zones. You don't want them to flank you. When they flank you, it takes away from concentrating the fire forward. So you just want to keep everything in front of you. She just got a scored. I didn't have to announce that. The dogs is really easy. This is the part you can. This is where this build really shines. I have pulse and I have the sticky. And this is where if you're a technician, you're not using your grenades, but you should use your grenades here as well. So one thing I never thought the channel would take off. I know I kind of drifted back and forth on where it wanted to go. I really want to do something where I'm just talking to you more, not necessarily the gameplay. The division, I figure once you figure it out. What's great about the division, there's a bunch of different builds. It's one of the things I like about Destiny. I had a great time at Destiny changing my build around. And in Diablo, I could just change my build constantly. But what happens is you eventually find a build that just works. And it works in the majority of the situations. And that's the build you kind of stick with. I don't want to make clickbaity videos of me doing a different build that I don't use. If we're not going against the Black Tusk, then maybe I would use Banshee. I think Banshee is a better combination. This last part, you don't want to die, so you absolutely want to make sure you do not get flanked by the rushers after you kill these people on the right. I don't know, 3 or 4 times we've gotten smoked in this part. It's very frustrating when you've done a legendary. You're so close. Here they come, those 3. I used to have a turret. It's not enough. You just got to stop them in their tracks. You got to look at it. And that part's done. The golden bullet does make a big difference. So big question once you get to this last part, Roxy. The big question is, do you go up and over or do you, what? You should go up and over. You're going to need at least 1 decoy, but I think 2. I throw a decoy out and then I start pulsing. We have enough DPS to do everything else. The decoy is important. And then you got to make sure that you both are putting the decoy out. We had 2 in the group and now I think we only have 1. The guy saw me using 1, so he didn't want to use it. But 2 is fantastic. And sometimes what I've done, which is bad, if you have someone that has a healing hive out, you do not want to put the decoy near the healing hive because it just takes up the heals for the crew. Again, thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing. Wouldn't be a video unless I went down on the legendary. You see we're making short work of this. Once you take those down, it's basically over. There's a threesome that drops. I didn't even notice the threesome. This group's so good, I didn't even see the threesome that drops from the helo. And then the next helo coming over is going to put a chunga over there. And I'm going to move forward to try to engage that chunga. And what I want to do is have it go after the decoy and not start walking towards us. I want it to stay on the boat because there's the chopper for the chunga. I don't want to go too far out and get whacked, but I just want to make sure that chunga stays on the boat. Especially with a group like this. Again, I appreciate everyone. Thank you for helping making the channel grow. There's 300 videos. If I didn't have the support of everyone, I probably wouldn't have made so many. But again, I appreciate it. And another legendary in the books. And I'm even using my super duper weapon. I hate that weapon. It hardly ever shoots when you want it. There we go. I want to do a special thank to Sloth Moods, Ultimate Shield 340, Super Slanky Lanky, Just a Gamer, Ms. Buffalo, Jimmy DCZ, and Rose Fox. Thanks, everyone.